Welcome to Live, life-inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. My friend Ron Matthias was given the diary of his great-grandfather who immigrated from Germany many, many years ago. As he left for Germany on the ship destined for America, Ron's great-grandfather bid farewell to his family at the dock, never knowing if he would ever see them again. A week later, his mother received a letter from him telling her that the ship had not yet sailed. They were still in port, waiting for wind. Waiting for wind. Ooh, what a profound sentence. All of us, at some time or another in our lives, have waited for wind. Many times it's been as we tried to find a career path, a purpose path, answers to things with which we were struggling, or for the times when we were just in a rut and feeling uninspired and blah about life. Many times we have waited for wind, but the waters of life were stagnant, not moving, and we felt powerless. I sat on my patio thinking about this the other day and found myself watching the breeze rustle the wind chime, filling my moment with lovely sound. When wind comes, it can be sweet, but when it is absent, we often long for it. So what do we do in those times when we need the wind? Something to push us into a new time, to motivate, to move us out of that stagnant spot, or encourage us to take a risk. Do we try to make our own wind, or do we wait for the wind? So, is it possible to wait and act at the same time? A both and? I don't know. I'm just throwing that into the wind. There's a powerful quote I put in one of my journals that says, "When there is no wind, row." So that sounds like a vote to make your own wind, doesn't it? But then there's the idiom, just wait and see. Then one given to us by Leo Tolstoy, everything comes in time to those who know how to wait. Or from Harbhajan Singh Yogi, who said, "The greatest art is to sit and wait and let it come." Once on the movie set in the MGM studios, the actors sat brooding over what to do with a particular scene. The owner of the MGM happened to come into the studio and asked why they were just sitting there. They told him they didn't know exactly what to do with the scene they were working on. The owner scolded him and said, "Don't just sit there. When you don't know what to do, do something." We have a strategy in mental health counseling called act as if. It's suggested by one of the favorite theorists that I have, whose name is Alfred Adler. This technique helps a person take an action they may be afraid of taking or simply because they don't think it will work. When applying this technique, the person is asked to act as if the action will work. It can be like a rehearsal or, as the saying goes, like priming the pump. The action does something. It gets something going, or it starts the beginning of a change. Sadie Huff said, "Don't waste the waiting." Yesterday I ran into a friend, and as we chatted a bit, she remarked, "I'm so bored, and I've never been bored in my life." So in the waiting, what does it look like to row or act as if? What does it look like not to waste the waiting? Here's what I think. Just as we cannot see the wind, we cannot see the energy that is within us and around us. When we are in the waiting time and want or need a change or answer or direction, I believe if we intentionally keep our eyes open for opportunities and possibilities, it is possible for that magical energy to produce the wind needed to show us the opportunity or answer. It reminds me of the concept of synchronicity. The psychiatrist Carl Jung coined that term, which refers to a meaningful coincidence that mysteriously occurs in our lives. It's that energy I spoke of. Science tells us that when we change our vibrational energy, we start attracting more of what we're feeling, making wind perhaps. So in the waiting for wind, keep your eyes open and your heart open. Look for things you may miss when you are focused on the rut that you are in, or being rigid about change. As Ron's great-grandfather waited for wind to usher his ship to America, he wrote a letter to his mother. He didn't waste the waiting. Now his story has given us wind to move our ship to a better shore. So this week, put on your bathroom mirror. When there is no wind, row. Enjoy the trip. And join me next Monday for Live, life-inspired views for every day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.